Okay, so I am going to cut this pattern out using a bandsaw. This can be done with a handsaw, a number of different tools. I happen to have access to the bandsaw. Again, power tools can be very dangerous. I am wearing glasses, so I got my eyes protected. Be careful when you're pushing stuff. You don't want to take off a thumb or anything while you're at it. So here we go. Okay, hopefully this will all hit in the window. There we go. There's our first side done. So I'm going to lather, rinse, repeat to make my second side, and we'll be right back with you. Okay, now that I've got my pieces all cut out, and I actually cut out my top front piece and back. Actually, I got two back pieces here for some reason, but that's okay. We make it work. So I'm just going to kind of mock this up real quick to give us an idea of what it's going to look like. I'm using masking tape right now to kind of hold everything together. Let me get that out. That's going to come handy. That's not what I want. Okay, so this is basically going to mock up the console so I can take a look at everything and make sure that it's all going the way I want it to. Then I'll know exactly where everything's going to get glued. Then I can do more sanding and finish work. I'm just marking which is the inside and outside on these. That way I can keep track of it a little bit easier. Nothing like putting something together just to find out you plan on doing it the other way. Okay, so this is our console. I am going to leave this open because it butts up against the bottom part of the dash, so I don't really see a need to close that in. Plus, it gives me good access if it gives me, well, I'm not even going to have access. It's going to be right up against the dash, so it's not a big deal. So, keeps my usage of material or need for material to a minimum. Lets me put this together. So, looks good. All I got to do is determine where this will go. Actually, I need a screwdriver. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta find a screwdriver and figure this out. Okay, because I almost totally forgot to record this. What I did is I took my switch apart. I positioned the back of it here on the panel where I want it to be installed, and traced it out. I am now going to transfer that through the tape using a hobby knife. So give me a second, we're going to switch around so I can do a better spot, and we'll get that all set. Okay, in order to keep this as accurate as possible, getting a straight edge here, and I'll tell you, in hindsight, might have been a little bit smarter to actually trace this on the bottom side, because if I screw up here, it'll be a little obvious. But if I was doing this for a customer, not that I do this as a income, but if I was doing it for a customer, I would definitely take that into account. But since it's just for me, and nobody, and the only people who are going to see it are you guys, anybody that gets in my truck, I'll tolerate it this time. Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I have now transferred that marking to the board itself. So next is going to come getting that cut out. I'm going to take a minute to figure out the best way for me to do that, and we'll be right back to it. Okay, it's in there. Obviously, when I was trying to figure out the best way to do it, I discovered there was a small crack at the top that kind of became more, so I said, you know what, to hell with it. Took the bandsaw, went through, cut my block out, made a few adjustments, and now this fits right in here. I'm going to have to do something to make this all look pretty, because yeah, it's going in my truck, but I still want it to look pretty. So I'm thinking, once I determine, well, that's perfect. Almost couldn't have planned that any better. This is going to be mounted with the bolts that go into here are going to go through the sides of the unit. And I'm thinking what I may do is take some of these leftover pieces and kind of maybe craft a small frame for it. I might actually have a bigger chunk left over here I could do that with. But, oh, nope, that's not. Yeah, I got a couple of decent sized chunks here. I could actually build a small frame for that. That's not a problem. So we'll make it work. Let me see. I'll figure that out later. I'm not figuring it out right now. For now, that's going to pretty much cover what I need it to cover. I still want to have a couple more slots I want to put in here. One of them is going to be to hold my vape, so as long as I've got that here in my pocket, might as well trace this out. Okay, so this is generally the size, roughly the size I need. Actually, this will work nice at a little straight edge. Nice thing about using pencil is that it will all sand off when I'm done. And yes, I'm kind of just eyeballing it. There we go. Okay, and then I want somewhere to put. Not sure what I want to do with this last one yet, because I don't want to put a cup holder there because the shift stick will get in the way. The shifter, it'll get in the way of the shifter, but I want to put maybe something to that would actually potentially work. Not this in particular, but just this size container to hold like coins and pencils and such, whatever I carry with me. So that'll go over here. So let me get back to this. And then we'll get back to it. So figuring this out, and we'll come right back. Okay, so it's cut out. Long story. I went in. – Don't worry, I've got a plan for that now. So My next goal is to work on getting this is the glue up. So that's going to be the fun part here. Okay, it's a little short because I got it set for filming at the bandsaw, which I'll be headed to in a minute. So, unfortunately, my camera shut down while I was doing the glue up, so we don't have some of that footage. And what I do is I download the footage each day when I'm done, so I've got it on my computer. Don't have to worry about things like, SD cards going bad. But it's glued up. And if you follow the Instagram, I went to check it out in the truck, see how it fit, and realized I had forgotten something. There's a piece on the floor that comes up from the bottom, and I forgot to account for that. No big deal. That's why I'm set up to film the bandsaw right now. So give me a second to get everything repositioned, and we're going to make a quick cut. Okay, due to some restrictions on size with the bandsaw, I'm going to have to do this in a couple of cuts so it'll fit through. So let's get this started. Okay, so what I did, because when I cut off the end initially, I lost that structural support. So I just kind of pulled the sides off of this and just popped it in here, just wedged it in there to give me a little extra support there. Okay, so let's take this outside and we'll see how it fits. Okay, let's see how this goes. First, I'm going to unplug this to get that out of the way. Not that it's super in the way, but we'll see. Now comes the fun part. Seeing if I cut off enough. I may not have. Okay, so it'll... Okay, unplug everything. Okay, now that I've managed to unplug everything, get everything out of the way, we're going to see what we can do here. Okay, and it's still going to be, I'm not going to be able to, unless I assemble it in place, I'm not going to be able to get what I want here. So what I'm going to have to do is make a mark here. There we go. So that's my mark there. And a mark on the side indicating where the hump in the middle is. You see how well that marked. Okay, so I got my side mark here. So I know my hump height there. Okay, well, this gets shorter every time. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is kind of cut this, you guys can't see, I'm going to cut this down to here and then do something to make it go forward. So it'll still give me a little bit of that forward, but it'll bring it down so I can get it in there. So back to the workshop. Okay, we are back in the workshop again. So let me there it is. Grab a quick square here so I can get an idea of what I'm doing. So just gonna kind of mark out. This is the level that the hump is at that I'm going to have to get over with the sides. And actually, I mean, it's called a square for a reason. And there goes the dehumidifier. Okay, so essentially this section here is what I got to figure out what to do with so I can get by when I install it. Now, if I was using some really high-end stuff that I went and bought at a store for extreme amounts of money, I could probably do it in parts, assemble it in the truck. But I like the single unit. That's a personal preference. I admit that. No big deal. Is it perfect? Oh, hell no. But that's okay. It will accomplish what I need it to accomplish, and that's the important part. Speaking of which, let me just see. Yeah, so if I got disposable, it'll fit in there as well. Don't ask. Long story. Okay, now I'm going to see if I can down straight down. Oh, you know what? I'm going to think about this for a few minutes and then we'll be back shortly. Okay, after hours and hours and hours of debate. Okay, no, never mind. It was like 15, 20 minutes of going back and forth on how I wanted to do it. I kind of decided I'm going to come down and just kind of angle it down to that front angle, that front corner here, and I'll still keep some of, as much of the length on the bottom as I can while allowing me to get it installed in there. So back to the saw. I haven't decided which saw I want to use that though. Okay, I apologize for the background noise. It's a borrowed workshop, so it has a dehumidifier going, so that is the background noise you're hearing. I can't change that, but I'll do my best to work around it. I did knock off a little bit of the edge here so that you don't have to watch as much sawing. Here we go through the next section. There we go. Now, a couple quick things. If you're using a bandsaw, they can kick back. Also, make sure you keep your hands out of the way of the blade because they will cut off a finger just as easily as they cut off the wood, if not easier. So, also you'll notice I took the end piece and popped it back in here for that support. This may not be disappearing right away, so I've got a couple ideas. I may actually reuse that in the current structure for extra support. So, also knowing how high the hump comes up gives me an idea where I can put it. So let's go back out to the truck and see where we're at. Okay, we're back at the truck again. Let's see. Oh, I got a little bit of flex. Let me see what this is not looking positive. And I broke it. Okay, well, back to the drawing board time. Actually, you know what? I'm not even worried about that. That might be the answer I needed. If I get this in here, it's probably not coming back out. Oh, wait. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I'll take that. And actually, oh my God, that's like solid in there. That's not going to go anywhere. Okay. let's see now. What have I got where? So I'm going to sit in the truck, put that there. I'll have a cup holder here, switches here, and here I'm going to figure out what to do so I can have like put some coins in, throw coins that change in there, or maybe a couple pens and pencils type thing. So yeah, I think I'm going to nip out the rest of this. So it's just open at the front there. I will pop that piece that was on the end up in here, probably up a little bit. But overall, that's not half bad. Now, mind you, I am not a professional woodworker by any stretch of the imagination. I am a hobbyist on a good day. But, that being said, if it fulfills its purpose and looks reasonably decent, I think you're doing okay. Okay. Now that I've got it in there, I'm going to have to get it back out so I can go downstairs to the workshop again and get some more work done on it, get it ready for finishing. And yeah, here we go. Hey everybody, Editing Cool Dad here. Well, it's not the end of it, it's just the end of this part of it because I looked at the raw footage and I ended up with close to 3 hours of footage altogether. So I'm working my way through it, and I don't think any of you want to sit through an hour plus video, so we're going to cut it here. I'm working on the next parts now, and hopefully I may get them out sooner than next week, but we'll see. So keep an eye out, hit that subscribe button, the notification button, like, comment, all that good stuff, and you will see when the next part to this drops, and we'll keep you updated. Thank you very much, and I will catch you all later.